welcome back to the stream. I'm your host Matej Zatlkaj here with Oliver Polak-Rottmann, and we're back. Sorry you had to endure 2 rounds of Valentin Knuckle, something I don't like doing myself. No, just kidding, Valentin's wonderful. So we're going into the last round of here at the RPTQ, and it's actually turned out really interesting because we have, for the first tables who will draw, so we assume Tom Butcher, Marinko Murgic, Antonis Fizat, and Sergei Golubkin will be in the top 8 for sure. And then we have lots of other matches where we know that table 3 has drawn, but we're going to look at a win and in. So 2 players at 12 points, meaning that only the winner will make it into the top 8 and then has to fight for one more round for the top 4. So let's head on down to the feature match area here. Let me update the names. There we go. So Pavlos Kanelis on the left and Anze Avsec on the right. And it's definitely going to be interesting because the winner will make it into the top 8. On the other hand, the other one will go home almost empty-handed. Will probably finish in the top 16. And they all came here to play the Pro Tour qualification, right?
Absolutely. And we will see a green-white mirror.
Oh, both players are on green-white. All right. Why not? It has been one of the most prominent archetypes in the room over the day.
So Anze is always watching.
Okay.
What I can see when I look at the deck list, what's there for Kanelis? On first sight, there's nothing like super special.
Yeah, same for Anze. It's a completely average green-white deck with always watching. The other card that's popping up to me from deck list is Duskwatch Recruiter, but the players are already starting to play, so let's see what they come up with. So speaking of Duskwatch Recruiter, there he is, turn 2. A very good in green-white.
And we see a flip. Ooh, this game could be over soon.
Yeah, because there was no turn 2 play from Anze. That means that the Duskwatch Recruiter has already flipped into a 3/3, which makes other creatures cheaper. So if Pavlos has a good 4-drop, he can play it now, but he'll get to swing for 3 at least on turn 3, which is not bad. Let's see if he has any good follow-ups. No, just a 3-drop then. A Byway Courier.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and then Byway Courier from Anze, so at least he'll be able to stop the bleeding a little bit. But we do know that Pavlos has Confront the Unknown in his hand, but almost everything else is land except the Ovenwald Mysteries. Not bad. Works well with the Confront the Unknown. Oh, and he goes for the block on the Crown Horde Howler. I know this one. And he'll be able to flip it back into the Recruiter, which is also very nice.
At this spot now you want it as a Recruiter, and you should not miss the trigger.
He forgot to flip it. Oh, no. Yes, he says it's 2 spells, so they're going to flip it. And you can see how rough it can be, just Anze being on the draw, not having a 2-drop. He also has an Ovenwald Mysteries of his own.
Yeah.
But since he's slower on the board, he can't get such an advantage. As Anze plays the Pious Evangel and goes up to 15 here. So now Pavlos has his engine, but still plenty of lands for him.
Only lands.
But he has Recruiter and the Mysteries, so like he'll eventually draw into some cards. So he sacks a clue, gets a human. Is that Silver Strike?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I think it is Silver Strike.
Yeah, it's in his deck, so
yeah, so but again, he hasn't played any spells this turn, so the Recruiter will most likely flip in Anze's turn as he drops down to 12.
No trade here.
No, oops. 12. Not 1, 12. All right. Then Pavlos goes for Recruiter. Nice, found the Lambold Pacifist, so again, not bad. And now he'll flip. And having a 3/3 also not the worst, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Again, against the board of with a 2/2. So let's see what Anze can do here. We can't see much in his hand, so okay. Sparring Captain goes back up to 13. So if you're Pavlos here, would you be thinking of attacking right away and trying to trade for clue?
Oh, Anze is attacking here.
With a 3/3, sure. It was pumped by the inspiring captain and looked like Pavlos did not want to trade here. So this makes me very inclined to attack. But that's just me.
You've got a lot of cards in your hand, so your opponent has to respect a lot of cards.
Yeah.
So.
And you'll know about the Lambo Pacifist. That's going to come on down on the board before. But I mean, Pavlos can play it slow here if he wanted to. Briarbridge Patrol only for 3 mana. And probably a Lambo Pacifist. And I assume...
I mean, I for sure would try to hit with the courier.
Yes, for sure.
But it seems like he's attacking with both creatures.
Yeah.
If he plays everything pre-combat.
Yeah.
And there we see the trade.
So he's gonna trade with the Crown. Doesn't want to keep his recruiter alive, but he's gonna take 3 from the unblocked creature, drop down to 10, get a clue from the Overwhelmed Mysteries, and with an impressive board, Pavlos looks in commanding position.
I can see here throwing the recruiter.
See a nice flag. Anze is from Slovenia. Pavlos is certainly not from Finland.
No, he's from Greece.
I think in this game you can really see the power of all involved mysteries, right?
Absolutely. Wow.
Okay, Equestrian Skill is one of the cards when I was looking at the deck, I was not convinced. But if it works, it works. So +3/+3 and trample. If it's a human, which it is, I think.
Yeah, it is.
But firmly
on both sides.
Firmly on the defensive, though. So clue is being sacked here. This is a super bad spot for Anze anyway, right? Any creature that you trade with, there's clues and there's more tokens.
And he's under the gun. If there's any pump spell, then the Lamp Hole Pacifist can attack as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, there is the pump spell. I've seen worse pump spells.
Yeah, Thales
That's
Lieutenant.
game. It's over.
Yeah, it's over. Pump your whole team, and I think he could have survived for one more turn, but he wouldn't be able to do about anything else. I think Pavlos would have also more clues.
He also had the 1/1 creature, so it was actually lethal.
Okay, fair enough. So,
but yeah,
Pavlos in prime spot to make the top 8 here.
Very, very good draw here from his side.
Had a good curve.
Yeah, perfect curve, and then unanswered recruiter. There you can really see the power of Duskwatch Recruiter in limited. He did not even got super insane with a 4-drop on turn 3. It just heavy hitting 3/3.
Yeah.
Wizards did a great job compared to the old Innistrad format where werewolves are not flipping that often, too early. So it's basically only Lamphole Pacifist and Duskwatch Recruiter that can flip on turn 2. So you don't get punished too often, but yeah, you saw it happening here, and
yeah, it's one of the most brutal plays you can do with a turn 2 recruiter. No matter where the game turns, if your opponent doesn't play a turn 2 or turn 3 play and you get to flip it and play like a 4-drop on turn 3, it just feels like you were so far behind the game. And if you don't kill it eventually, then like late game you can still take over the game.
Yeah, just one activation, he found a pacifist. Yeah, it was great. And
yeah,
there you can certainly just think of keeping it back and just making value out of it. But he decided to attack with the creature and trade it off, and I think it was correct because he was pressuring his opponent. His opponent was a little screwed on 4 mana.
Oh, what can you do? So for those who just joining us, just so you know about where we stand with the here at the RPTQ. So it will be a cut to the top 8 where we will do the draft. Well, the players will draft and we will watch them draft, and then we're gonna see the first round in the top 8 because that's all we're gonna have.
Yep.
And the players we will see in the top 8 already. We believe that Tom Butcher and Marinko Murgic, they've drawn at table 1. Antonis Fisas has drawn with Sergei Golubkin on table 2. So we expect both to be in the top 8. Jonathan Dunz and Dominic Supal drew on table 3, but we think that one might not make it in. And then tables 4 and 5 with Davide Miani, Davor Detechnik, Anze Avsec, and Pavlos Kanelis. The winner there will make it in. And then we have one more round for one more playing for potentially top 8. We'll get to that later because the players have been really fast in starting up here. Turn 2, that's what recruited for Pavlos, and turn 3, byway career for Anze. And Pavlos also has a byway career of his own. So again, turn 2 recruiter. Must be nice when you're playing for the top 8.
Yeah, but this time recruiter doesn't do that much now.
Yeah, because Pavlos was on the draw, so Anze did have a 3-drop.
Yeah.
At least. So, but Solitary Hunter is a solid 4-drop for Anze. So both players building up a board as these green-white decks do.
Yeah, and this already looks like a game that will take longer, unless you're always watching. So let's
Ouch.
see, and bam.
No, this is a prime spot for a double block, but also
Well,
poten-
potential blowout.
potential blowout. Exactly. So.
If Anze has an aim high, Pavlos has no blocks at
Or
all.
confront the unknown could be also problematic. Like honestly, if I'm Pavlos, I'm trading off the courier and I'm double blocking the solitary hunter. Yes, I will lose my recruiter, but my opponent will have no board with always watching, and I still have the Briar Bridge patrol. And okay, so he just goes for the triple block there against the 4/5. So even
I'm not sure if I would throw the recruiter in the mix here.
yeah, it seems a little.
I
bit-
mean, he certainly fears aim high.
yes.
So this way he can deal with the hunter.
Mm.
But on the other hand, if he just trades the other two, maybe it's not even a 2-for-1, it's just a 1-for-1. And he gets a clue out of the deal anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure. He certainly respects aim high here.
Seems to be that way. 2 mana seems very suspicious indeed. Yeah, so he kills the first 2
Yeah.
as expected and takes 4. So should be down to 16.
We should get 2 clues, right?
Yeah, so for Byway Courier and the patrol, yes. That's why I would have liked to see like the big trade-off there with the Byway Couriers trading
Yeah.
and then the recruiter and the Briar Bridge patrol. But
I-
obviously, like I would have risked it, but because even if he would have the aim high, you would still get the 2 clues, and your opponent would still be left with 1 creature only. So Anze is trading his creatures aggressively. So does he have the aim high here, or
No, he doesn't have aim high. He has no trick at all.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't interesting. So both players get a clue here after the Byway Courier is traded, and looks like Pavlos has a big play here. Cold of the
wow,
Vaxing Moon,
that's a
so
good card.
5 mana 5/4. So even more like in the end, what happened was exactly what I was suggesting, like to clear the board and
Yeah.
play a good follow up, and that's exactly what Pavlos has done with his
And
Cold
there's no creature, unless there might be a pack hunter or I don't know.
Pack Guardian. Yeah,
a
but
Pack Guardian.
he has the clue and he hasn't sacrificed it, so they're
No, it's gone. The clue is gone.
Okay,
the
he
clue
already
is gone.
sacked it. Okay. No, I still see a forest in his hand, so.
Ulvenwald Mysteries. And
maybe
Rumble
let's-
in the Jungle. And Anze is like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, take 5. Yeah.
Can do nothing. Seems like he's...
And it's still a Thraben Spectre as well, so a 4th clue, so that means that's potentially 4 more 1/1 creatures. Like Anze is just drawing lands. He now drew
Oh, there's a big guy. Oh,
Cavalry? Oh, Drogskull Cavalry. So
that's...
7 mana 4/4 Create Spirits. 5/5 actually now, with the thanks to that always watching. That could be a
Yeah.
pretty big haymaker here. I wonder if Pavlos has something to deal with that. I don't see a Rabbit Bite. I don't see an Angelic Perch. So let's see. I think he has Spectral Shepherd in his hand
Yeah.
and 2 lands. So
So we're gonna see some clue action here.
yeah, clue. Get a 1/1. This is gonna be super tough for Pavlos to overcome. So the game of haymakers continues because Anze has plenty of land. So every turn he'll be able to make a 1/1 spirit, gain 2 life, and then make another one, gain 2 more, while chump blocking the Cold of the Vaccine still. Just trying to figure out how many clues it's gonna have.
Yeah, 4 is correct.
Yep, I think so too.
Two damage from the patrol, and 1 from the courier, and 1 from the inspector. So another...
Another clue. At least he'll be able to get some cards, but it's gonna be tough to overcome the Drogskull Cavalry.
Oh, there are... I think the how is it called?
What are you looking for?
The werewolf fight card.
Okay,
I think he drew that card.
the
now.
Moonlight Hunt. Okay, that's a plan. So he has all the humans. So place Thalia's lieutenant on a board after having sacrificed 3 clues in total. He got 3/1/1 humans, and then also played the lieutenant. So he puts 5 counters on his creature.
Maybe
and
we
yes,
can-
The cult is a human. It's
Maybe
a-
we can get more dice into the feature match area. They might be needed there.
I think it's just about enough. So we'll check if we'll see if there's more humans incoming. And look at
So,
that.
Bam.
Not scared. So blocks one of the two
Take
to
8.
take 8.
Anze down to 7 life.
Thalia's lieutenant was certainly a good draw.
Absolutely.
So the one of the tokens gonna die.
But the cavalry also is quite...
Menacing? Yeah, it's a 5/5, but I think Anze might be forced to trade it off next turn with a cold if he doesn't find an answer. But it's just a tough spot. Like, he can still go up the ground somewhat, but the lieutenant was just really good.
Yeah.
It enabled the 1/1s to be relevant, and by being 2/2, they're much better. Remember, always watching Pump's non-token creatures.
Yeah.
That's very relevant. So the what the cavalry produces will always be 1/1 flyers. Decent combo again. So pass Evangel.
So
Up
that's
to 8.
3 life for 4 mana and the 1/1. Is this?
Yes. And did he swing with the cavalry?
He did.
Okay, so that's attack for 5. So down to 11 here.
Oh, there are 2 more.
Okay,
2 more
so
tokens. So, okay.
gummed up board, at least. So we'll see what Pavlos drew with all those clues. He has confront the unknown, so he
And
might
still the shepherd.
and the shepherd. Yes, so he might not want to sacrifice the clue right away, just because it's going to make his confront the unknown a little better. Maybe that could be the crucial damage that needs to get through. But Pavlos will, I think, try to attack with everything. Let's see. I believe that the Droxel cover is going to work fine with the
Evangel.
Evangel, of course, but also with the
vessel.
With the vessel that the cavalry.
I see.
So Droxel, whenever another spirit enters the battlefield under your
Yeah.
control,
So it's 4 life, 6 life.
6 life. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
But the 1/1s are not very relevant. So what are you gonna do, Pavlos? He could maybe sack the clue to dig for a human to make his title 10 bigger, but I don't think
Well, popping the clue makes Thalia's lieutenant bigger anyways.
true because a human's gonna enter the battlefield. But he might want to wait for that until he plays the confront the
yeah.
unknown and so on. Yeah, it's super tough spot. But swing with everything as he should, because except the cavalry, I think he's not worried about any of the other creatures. The Evangel is a 3/3. So I think he's gonna sack here. If he won't forget all his triggers, he's gonna go up to 14. So I'm gonna. Okay, so he points to both, so gain 6. Maybe he just said 4. I don't know, but it looked like he pointed to both creatures. So yeah, he's gonna trump the Cold of the Vaccine because it's by far the biggest creature.
Yeah, the Evangel does whenever whenever creature comes into play under your control,
yes.
you gain 1 life, right?
You gain 2. That's what the cavalry says. And the Avenger, yes, whenever
Yeah.
creature for you, yes. But he might lose his cavalry here because we know about the confront the unknown, and there's already 1 clue in play, so it's going to be for 1 green. It's going to be
But
+2/+2.
Seems like he has to block.
Yes, looks that way. And there's no lethal though, right? There's
No, that's only 3.
getting through.
So now we're gonna see a confront. Confront is not enough.
Oh yeah, because it's 5/5. You're
Yep.
right. You're right. So he might have to play it on the one of the tokens to kill the Evangel. Because he has a 2/2 token that is blocked by the Pirate's Evangel.
Yeah. But I think that's perfectly fine.
Yes.
I mean, the cavalry is doing a lot of work here, or will do a lot of work. To at least, in worst case scenario, he gets his life back next turn in 2 1/1s, and that comes up the board even more.
And he still has the Moonlight Hunt, but no werewolves, no wolves or anything. All right, so he's trying to figure it out. So I think he should definitely go for the front.
Yeah, confront on the
Token.
creature that's blocked by the Evangel.
Yes. So that's
Yeah,
what he does.
So get
4/4.
another clue. This gets 4/4.
And now it's time to sack some clues.
Yeah. Unless he will spend all his mana, but I don't think that's the case. So
Yeah, he'll probably say
let's
this
see.
one.
Show us some cards.
Yes. But Pavlos is being very deliberate in
Yep.
figuring out how he wants to play this. So
Oh,
sacks a clue.
so many triggers.
So many.
Oh no! Oh no! He forgot everything.
Maybe he said
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Maybe he said it. The right order is you should
Yeah,
first
yeah.
put the 1/1 into play, then draw a card. But we don't have sound, so obviously we assume that's what should happen. And he's gonna sack both here. Again, they're doing the same thing. Then that's gonna grow his Talia's Lieutenant up to a 3/3. Didn't he draw an extra card there?
He did.
I
I
think.
think he did.
I think he drew an extra card. He drew twice off one clue. That's what.
So
it
we
is.
should hold the match here.
Yeah, we send someone down there to deal with the situation. It definitely looks like he drew a card,
He-
put
he
a token, and then drew again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's why it's important to do everything in order, that things like this don't happen.
Exactly. Yeah, we're.
It-
I think. Yeah, it looks like our chat is supporting us. So we'll have a judge deal with that situation.
I think we see another Thoughtseize here.
I wonder how that's going to what there is going to happen there. I think judges are already handling the situation. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll get an update soon enough. Yeah, well, he knows what he had in his hand. I think he had land,
Land and
Moonlight Hunt, and the
he
Shepherd.
had just the 2 spells.
Okay. I
But
think
it looked like he first drew the card, then put the spirit into play
Yeah.
and the counter on the Talia's
yes.
Lieutenant, and then he sacked the other one, put
Drew-
a card on his pile of cards of his hand, then put the creature into play, then the counter on the Lieutenant, and then drew another card.
It's a super tight game. Yeah. So
And
we do see the trademark, as we like to say, thought steal, which means that since the players can't find out which extra card it was, the player will have to reveal his hand, and Anze gets to decide what he wants to discard here, and it's going to be the Spectral Shepherd. It's going to be shuffled into the library. Yes, it's not really a thought steal, but it's going to get shuffled into the library, which is kind of unfortunate because we knew about the Spectral Shepherd, so we knew that was one of the cards in his hand. So, but he did draw an extra card, so we caught that one.
always watching.
Always watching, indeed. All right, so at least now we get to resolve combat. So
So-
you're going to take 5, going down to 9, and the Pious Evangel died to one of the tokens.
But the board state seems about to be correct, I think.
Yes, it seems fine.
And there's no more action here.
No more action, so
Anze,
getting back into the game. Has a byway courier that he just drew now. Swing for 5 again. Down to 6. There is an out for Anze. He has the big flyer, and he'll be able to get 2 spirits, gain 4 life. Maybe it's gonna be enough.
I wouldn't be too unhappy to be in Anze's spot right now. And there's
He
again.
drew the Spectre Shepherd. They just shuffled the library. That's incredible.
Well, it's lands only. Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, he has at least he has a blocker now.
Yes, yes. It's gonna make the game interesting.
So what do we have here? We have 6 attackers, 4 blockers. We have an on 13 life. He'll
6 to 9, yeah, but
he
up to 13 if he activates Dorkstal Cavalry twice.
jump to 2 bigger creatures. I think Anze is fine. He could even go for lethal next turn, so. Not knowing that he has the Shepherd again, but.
So we'll see how it plays out. Alright, so I like it. Swing with everything, block the 2 token, chomp. I'm actually surprised. I would keep 1 spirit just
Me too.
just to have showing for lethal next turn. Yeah, but it looks like this is the way it's gonna be blocked. Alright, so spirit
That's
trades.
5 damage.
Yeah, 5 damage. So he gained 4 though, so he's
Yeah.
up down to 8 with the cavalry triggers. Is there any follow-up except the Spectral Shepherd?
I don't think so.
He still has the Moonlight Hunt, but no wolves or werewolves. The Cold of the Waxing was also quite sad about the
Yeah.
fact. There's an equestrian skill, but I don't think it gives trample unless it's a human. So there's a chomp block from the Spectral Shepherd already. But I mean, better to get a card sooner than later. So
Can you get out of here?
So, sack a clue, Pavlos Kanelis. Draw a card, get a... He sequences correctly this time. So first the token, and then everything else.
There's a werewolf.
Okay.
That's something.
Hey, so he drew a hinterland logger, so that means that at least he'll be able to play the logger, and then use it for the Moonlight Hunt to kill at least one of those flyers, which could be actually pretty important. Can he draw something else as well? No, just the land.
So
Game is very close.
it is. So he will go back to 12 life here
Yep.
and have 3 blockers. If he gets rid of the 1 blocker,
He's gonna have 2 blockers potentially, but it's still
the Talia's Lieutenant and the Call of the Waxing
Moon. Yeah.
Moon, they both trade off with the cavalry now.
Yes.
So if he uses the
The Moonlight Hunt.
Moonlight Hunt, he can get rid of 1 of the tokens.
Yes. Yes. That should
12.
work. Yep.
But it's still not enough damage. He's
Not
not
enough for lethal.
forced. He's not forced to block with
Yeah.
the cavalry.
Yes. So now he also knows about the Moonlight Hunt,
He kno-
as we know from the judge ruling.
That's why he just said, "Give me the card, then read it." Then we don't need to
Yeah.
call the judge for Oracle.
We know you have it, so just show me the card. So he's gonna go up to 12 after activating that. So and we assume Pavlos will
So and now
use
let's
the
see
Moonlight Hunt.
what's happening. If it okay, it seems like he's allowed to block.
Interesting.
I'm not sure if that's the way I would want it to be. So it's
So
he will get 4 damage through.
so not getting really anywhere.
No, nothing happened. Basically, nothing happened here.
Yeah.
If he gets rid of 1 of the spirits before, it's
Yeah.
2, 4, 6.
Yep. So
Yeah,
the
then-
token should have also died, right? Like he did block with the 2/2, I think. So he's gonna go down to 1 here. No, but he does have the aim high. So that's lethal because that's a 5/5 Droxcall cavalry and 7/7 with the aim high. Unless Pavlos knows, so we're gonna go to game 3 here. Andre pulled it off with the cavalry.
Yeah,
Nicely
impressive.
played. Yeah, I thought he was on the back foot for most of the game, so it's quite interesting. All right, so we're gonna get game 3, and I always like seeing game 3s. So gonna shuffle it up and see one more game. These mirror matches are excruciating. I think it's also maybe a little tough for players who are used to play constructed. A lot of board math
Yeah.
involved, right?
Absolutely.
How do you help a player deal with such a situation? Like, what would you recommend a player do?
I don't know. To be honest, I needed to learn it myself, like the hard time. It's so much. It's so different playing draft or sealed deck games compared to constructed decks, because there are so many different scenarios that could happen in limited where there's not always the right call. You just have to get a feeling. You have to know the whole format. So what are the tricks? And Pavlos was in fear of aim high at the very beginning of the game.
Yes.
And if he could have played differently there, and could have changed the whole outcome of the game. So it's especially green-white mirrors. They in limited they all used to go super long, and this was not like a gummed up board at any time. It was a lot of creatures involved, but it was not like okay, just draw going basically.
It still was quite complicated to maneuver the game properly, and for both players. So we'll now see game 3. It looks like Pavlos has plenty of lands, so he's gonna mulligan. I think he had 5.
Wow, there are.
And Anze also had way too many lands. I think he also had at least 4, and I would assume there was one more hidden somewhere there. So both players mulliganing, leaving tight. So so the situation was quite complicated. But I that's one of the things that's being said, that for example, legacy players have a hard time with limited in general, because the matches play out in such a different way. There's so much combat math involved. If you're not used to it, it's pretty hard.
It's pretty hard, yeah.
And we also saw today Matej with the best sealer guy I've ever seen. I actually talked to his countryman, Tony Portolan, somewhat known on the European scene with a couple of successes here and there, but didn't manage to pull off a good result. And he said he played 80 seal decks on Magic Online preparing for this. 80.
Wow.
Yes, because with Magic Online, with the leaks, if you're somewhat decent, you can break even fairly reasonably, and if you have the time for it, you can play a lot of Magic. And he said like, none of his pools came even close to what Matej brought to the table. So that shows you that, but of course you get a good deck, but you still have to be able to play it correctly. And we saw Matej had played some not a good Magic today.
In Constructed, you would sacrifice the clues end of turn to not give away too much of the information. But in Limited, it's sometimes just better because there are so many different cards that could influence the board right away.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a Devil Thorn Fox for Pavlos facing off against an Unruly Mob from Anze. And Anze is going to go for the trade, but there's a Confront the Unknown from Pavlos. So he's going to save his Fox and get a clue as well.
So did he board in? Is his?
I think he has Exposed Evil in his hand, and I don't know what the other card is. Might be Clip Wings. He's also not that great against Dark Cavalry. Like, it's great with the turn they play it, unless they have another flyer, which makes it that much worse. So we'll see. Well, Anze thinking about Anze has a Desperate Recruit of his own. I actually thought that it would be the most represented uncommon in the top 8 seal decks here in this tournament, because it's just so powerful. We see Pavlos has another Confront the Unknown too. But that Squatch Recruiter can be quite problematic.
And it seems like it's going to flip. It is. Unless he
plays Confront the Unknown. He would have already played it, right? So he's just going to pass the turn here? Wow. So, I mean, on one hand it's good that Anze will not be able to use his ability just yet. But on the other hand, getting that discount on your creatures is really nice.
Would you attack here? Into 4 open mana?
Probably not, no. Especially if it's double green, I would not attack. But he does have the Confront the Unknown, but it's not enough. So, okay.
Oh.
So he's going to tap them this turn. Like, it looks like Pavlos really is thinking, like, I really need to get the cards here. Okay, Moldgraph Scavenger discounted as well, and now the Duskwatch Recruiter will flip.
No.
It's tapped still, though. It's not untapped. It's still tapped, even if it transforms.
So he keeps his clue for Confront, it seems.
Interesting.
Another land. I don't think Pavlos is in the spot where he can allow himself to save the clue. So, well, we see another Confront, and the extra clue doesn't accomplish anything, so I don't know why he didn't sacrifice it last turn.
Yeah, he could have gotten a playable card here.
So,
but okay, so he sacks it now. And a creature maybe? Okay, at least it's a hinterland logger. The good thing for Pavlos is the fact that Anze is landlight. If you have Recruiter, you don't mind drawing a lot of lands. But the problem is that he just doesn't have any more than 3.
so
but the board is still fine.
It looks like a Clipwing, right?
Yeah, I think it might be Clipwing. So I think you're going to see True Faith Sensor here. Yep, we're leaving up Confront the Unknown, and he also has a Grave Spoon. So even with not too much mana, if he draws 1 more land, he's fine. And he's attacking too. It's aggressive. he's gonna try to trade off with the recruiter here, but against a tapped out opponent, plays a confront the unknown. Takes 3 from the Inquisitor because the True Fate Sensor pumps him up by 1. And Anze is getting firmly back into this game. Next turn, True Fate Sensor, equip, Griffspoon, attack. Not
Things
bad.
are but then the clip wings gets
It gets good. Yeah.
funny interactions.
Yeah. Fun interactions indeed. I think Pavlos drew his own Duskwatch Recruiter. Yeah. It's gonna have a recruiter battle, but with Pavlos being the one with more mana, it's definitely gonna be interesting how...
Did he keep his land back here?
He has 3 lands open still. So
No, but still, there's no reason to keep your land. You want to do two things this turn. Maybe he did play one.
we'll see what he does here. Let's see, it's a tough situation for both players. There's a 4th land for Anze. He's gonna Griffspoon here. He's gonna Griffspoon here. He's trying. Oh, the Inquisitor. That resolves. Does he also equip it?
For sure. And then,
Clip wings value.
bam.
Yep, clip wings. So the Inquisitor bites the dust. He has to sacrifice it together with a Griffspoon. So yeah, Pavlos getting firmly back into this game. Has the recruiter of his own to keep up the pressure. He has the land. He also has a clue. He drew a spell here, but we couldn't really see it. And he attacked with the recruiter.
Yeah, and they
And
trade off. It should.
Or do they? Oh, he drew an aim
Oh,
high.
no.
Wow, that's a blowout. So he's gonna take 3 from the Fox. Go down to 11. Well, that was a great top deck.
Yeah.
And now it's still 3 mana open for...
And still, there's
recruiter.
he keeps his land back again.
Yeah. He should start playing them. I mean, I understand that he wants to be tricksy, but really needs all the mana. No, whiffs here. Okay, so... I'm just still not out of it. The Solitary Hunter is pretty nice. Okay, more lands, so... If the... Okay, sacrifices. Draws the card. It was a spell indeed. Okay, so just as Raven Spectre, but that's fine. Play the land, Pavlos. Play the land. Don't hold back. You have Recruiter. You need to play your lands. You see, his hands are itching a little bit. But he doesn't play it. It's so much better to get Recruiter value than get Clue value.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have the mana for it.
You don't get a lot by keeping the cards. You're not threatening your opponent. You're not threatening of attacking. So there's no reason to keep the lands here.
Yeah. Yeah, now Anze has to decide, do I want to equip my Solitary Hunter? And after it flips, it's going to be a monstrous 6/7. Potentially with a Griffspoon Vigilance, with the Griffspoon 7 power creature.
And I don't think he will be afraid of Clipwings again.
Yes, but he could also now play. He can also play the Courier. Tough decisions.
What's happening here?
He's thinking about he can play a creature, but no,
Okay.
he's just gonna equip and make a 4/5 and pass. So it's also like a great opportunity for him to flip the Solitary Hunter and the Recruiter, because
You turn off the Recruiter. So the Recruiter was activated once, and now if he finds,
so now he has to find something.
now he's short on mana.
Yeah.
What is this card? I just cannot. I can't.
It's a
Pack
Pack Guardian. It is Pack Guardian. Maybe that's why he wanted to keep it. Okay, there's 3 good creatures. He goes for the Lambold Pacifist. Let's see if he forgets to draw a card. No, he doesn't. We've already seen players do. After flipping recruiters and activating in their upkeep. Can certainly happen.
Yeah, there are always some weird things happening
Yeah.
when werewolves are involved.
Yeah. He passed the turn though, and now he has Pack Guardian mana up.
So what do Ulvenwald Mysteries on this side? table.
That's gonna flip his one of the pack, and he also didn't attack with his 6/7 here. Whereas I think he was probably expecting something like this. So there's the Pack Guardian. gonna get a 4/3 out of the deal, as well as a 2/2 wolf. And now the creature's gonna flip back. I think the solitaire hunter will still be a decent size, a 5/5, but we're heading for a board stall again, as we did before. And both players, one player has a Duskwatch recruited, the other one doesn't. So
Yeah. But the solitary hunter keeps all the creature from attacking. So
for now, I think Pavlos at this point probably has to think about going wide rather than big, because he has so many more creatures than Anze. So he just has to flood the board. I think he has Thornhide Wolves and the Lambhold Pacifist, but I don't think he can play both here.
No, he
Also has the Cold of the Waxing Moon. If he had the flip, that's what he will be able to play 2 creatures in one turn. But now he's just gonna start off with what looks like it's gonna be the Colt.
yeah.
Cold is also pretty nasty when you can flip
In
your
this
cards
scenario, if he drops the second werewolf, you can just pass every of your turns and get wolves out of the deal, and that's a way to break a stall.
Okay, speaking of ways to break a stall, always watching can certainly do some work here. And remember, Anze has that Griff Spoon in his graveyard.
He does,
But
and I think he's aware of that.
he can only pass the turn here, though. Not much he can do in the face of so many creatures on the other side of the board. More creatures from Pavlos. Now has another byway courier as well. He's gonna play Thornhide Wolves here. Like, his creatures are really big now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Pacifist and byway
Because
courier.
now he can just pass his turn. He does have 2 wolves, so he actually gets something out of the deal.
Yes. So Griff Spoon, that's the plan. So Griff Spoon on Solitary Hunter. It's
Bam.
a 7 power creature now, I think. It's a 3/4 base, 4/5 thanks to Always Watching, 5/5 thanks to Griff Spoon, and +2 power from the True Fate Sensor. So that should be attack for 7, putting Pavlos down to 10. We believe.
Oh, now the wolves are going to flip.
All the wolves. There's a Warp Landscape.
Okay.
So,
What's happening now?
well, remember, Anze can have lethal, thanks to that flip of that
I think
Solitary
he's
Hunter.
1 short.
But
isn't
because he loses the power of the True Fate Sensor, you're right? It's now 6 power thanks to Always Watching, 7 Griff Spoon, and 8. Yes, you're right. So he was only 1 short. Now he's 2 short. Unless he draws something. So Lambhold Pacifist, Crown Horde, Howler also.
But how do things look on the return?
Well, there's a lot of power, so I
Yeah.
think there's also some defense left with the 2 wolves.
If the waxing, you just have to
Yes,
send everything
I would
in.
just send
and
everything in, yeah.
if you count like minus, so 3, 6, 9, it's lethal. It's just straight up lethal.
You did the math?
Yes.
Okay, you're good at this. So let's check. So the 5/4 is going to get blocked for sure. By
and then he blocks the Pack Guardian, and then you still have 3, 6,
infinite
10,
damage.
13,
that's way too
16 damage incoming. So I
Yeah.
think Pavlos made it. He got there.
much. In the end, he blocks that one. It doesn't matter which 4 power creatures he blocks. It's still lethal. Yes, 7, 10, 11, 13 damage. And there's the handshake. Pavlos Kanelis goes up to 5-1, meaning he's going to be in the top 8 for sure.
For sure.
Amongst the highest seeds as well.
Yep.
1, 2, or 3, I believe, looking at the standing. So
2. There's one guy with
2 or 3.
5 wins and a draw. So
yes, and there's going to be one more player at 5-1. So depending how the tiebreakers shake up, he'll be able to. But
Yeah.
it probably doesn't matter as long as you're in the 1 through 4. You're going to be able to choose to play or draw.
not necessarily.
It's random.
The seedings for the draft are random, so you're not guaranteed with from spots 1 to 4 that you will be on the play.
Sure.
You most likely are, but
Yes, if
Yeah.
you're first, you are for sure. That's the important bit.
Well.
So, yeah. All right. So there you have it. Pavlos Kanelis in the top 8 here at the RPTQ in Vienna, Austria. Welcome back to the booth. Yeah, that was fun. I didn't
Yeah.
expect the green-white to be fun, but it was lots of haymakers, left and right, and both
A lot of
pla-
decisions.
lot of decisions. Both players, I would say they had average decks, like a couple
Yeah,
bombs
they-
and so on, but solid overall. Good creatures, tricks,
Yeah.
some removal. Yeah, it worked nicely. All right, so that means that that's basically the end of the Swiss round. So there's still obviously some matches going on as they do, because we had 58 players across 15 nations, but it's all going to boil down to 8 players. And before we leave you for a break while we go set up the draft table so that we can actually bring you the draft, which is probably the part I'm looking forward most.
We're trying our best. So we have one of our guys filming the whole thing live with his hand camera.
Mhm.
So please, we don't have like the super perfect equipment for that, but we try our best, and yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll make it work. All right. So, for those of you who weren't here at the start of the round, I'll just quickly. Tom Böttcher drew with Marinko Murgic at table 1, so they're going to be both in top 8 for sure, as well as Antonis Fisas with Sergei Golubkin, both players drawn, and Sergei has excellent tiebreakers. Jonathan Duntz and Dominic Supal drew on table 3.
And
But
that was a risky one.
That was a risky one because both players don't have that great tiebreakers. And table 6 is actually Christopher Kempf against Antonio Pinto, where if Christopher wins, I think he'll be in the top 8 for sure because he has really good tiebreakers.
Yeah.
And he might overtake either Jonathan or Dominic, depending how their tiebreakers shake up. So then, because also table 4, Davide Miani and Davor Detechnik, they're playing. So the winner will make top 8 for sure. And we just saw Anze Avsec lose to Pavlos Kanelis, so Pavlos will be in the top 8 for sure in 2nd or 3rd place, depending on how it shakes up. So it's definitely going to be a sweat for at least 2 players.
Yeah, I think that Dominic Chupal just drew himself out of the top 8.
Well, not necessarily. If Christopher Kempf loses and so on, and he wasn't that far in tiebreaker math, he was 2% behind the player he was drawing with, so there's some potential. So
Yeah.
he's definitely at worst in 9th place. So we'll see. I told him that he should be very careful about drawing. So, but he did go for it in the end. Might be a little risky. We'll see how it turns out. So,
We'll see.
but we'll be back with the top 8. Soon. We'll see how long it's going to take. But I already see the tables squeaking, so they're trying to set up the
They're
feature
working
match
on it
area.
already, so it might be like 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know. We don't have the clock in here.
Yeah. So, but don't go anywhere. The best part of the weekend is coming. Going to watch a player draft live, and it's going to be awesome. So don't go anywhere.